Hello, and welcome to today's video on the notorious Green River Killer, Gary Ridgway. Gary Ridgway was a prolific serial killer who committed heinous crimes in the 1980s and 1990s, and today, we will be diving into his early life, his marriage, the story behind his nickname, his victims' ages, the reasons behind his actions, and what eventually happened to him. Early life. Gary Ridgway was born on February 18, 1949, in Salt Lake City, Utah. He was the middle child of 3 brothers and grew up in a troubled household. His parents often fought and argued, and his mother was known to be domineering and abusive. Gary struggled with school, was shy and introverted, and often bullied by his peers. Marriage life. Gary married his high school sweetheart, Claudia Craig, in 1970. The couple had 1 son together and remained married until his arrest in 2001. Claudia was unaware of her husband's crimes and only learned of them when he was arrested. She filed for divorce shortly after. Story behind Green Killer name. The Green River Killer nickname came from the Green River, where many of Gary Ridgway's victims were found. The river runs through Washington state, where most of the murders took place. Victims' ages. Gary Ridgway primarily targeted young women involved in prostitution or with a history of drug use. The ages of his victims ranged from teenagers to women in their 30s. His youngest known victim was only 16 years old. Reasons behind his crimes. The reasons behind Gary Ridgway's crimes are not entirely clear. He has given conflicting statements regarding his motivations, but experts believe that his troubled childhood, sexual fantasies, and his mother's abusive behavior played a role. He has also stated that he felt a sense of power and control when he killed. What happened to him at the end? Gary Ridgway was eventually caught in 2001 after DNA evidence linked him to several of the murders. In 2003, he pleaded guilty to 48 counts of murder and was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. In exchange for his guilty plea, Gary Ridgway agreed to provide information about his victims and the locations of their remains. This information allowed authorities to bring closure to many families who had been searching for their loved ones for years. Conclusion. Gary Ridgway's crimes were devastating and caused immeasurable pain to the families of his victims. Although he will spend the rest of his life behind bars, the impact of his actions will never fully heal. It is important to continue to remember the victims and their families while striving to prevent future tragedies like this from occurring. Thank you for watching today's video.